There's an idea most people instinctively reject, a statement that feels almost blasphemous to the modern mindset. Putting God first isn't just an act of faith. It's the fastest way to bring every area of your life into alignment, and the effects are immediate. It sounds counterintuitive in today's fast-paced world, where quick fixes and tangible results are the gold standard. But the truth is, connection to the divine is the invisible structure that recalibrates your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors at a core level. Here's the controversial question. What if all your struggles, your constant anxiety, and that lingering sense of inner chaos had a single, simple answer that you've been overlooking all along? Would you embrace that answer, even if it shattered your current beliefs? Carl Jung, one of the most profound explorers of the human psyche, didn't see God as a hollow religious concept. For him, God represented the inner axis of psychological balance and true self-awareness, the central force that brings meaning to life. In this video, you'll discover why placing God at the core of your being is not only a spiritual decision, but a groundbreaking psychological shift that can change your life right now, faster than you might think. Are you ready to challenge everything you believe about faith, control, and fulfillment? What did Jung really mean when he said that meeting God is, above all, a meeting with oneself? Think about the last time you felt lost, disconnected from who you are, like you were drifting through a sea of uncertainty. What would your life look like if there were a steady point within you, a guiding force that shaped not just your beliefs but your subconscious, your dreams, and your deepest decisions? For Jung, God isn't a distant or judgmental being, but a symbolic representation of the self, the totality of your psyche that unites light and shadow, conscious and unconscious, reason and intuition. To place God first means to place your self first, to create space for your inner world to harmonize with your truest essence, bringing order where there was once chaos. Have you ever noticed how the obsessive chase for external control and success can be a sign of internal disconnection? So many people pursue goals, titles, and applause, hoping it'll fill the void. But Jung shows us that without spiritual connection to the self, the emptiness only deepens. It's like trying to build a house starting with the roof. It all collapses. So here's the real question. Where are your priorities? Are they in appearances, approval and urgency, or in connection with something higher, something timeless? When God, or the self, takes the lead, your decisions align, stress melts away, and your intuition finally speaks. This is the kind of quick reward no external achievement can offer, an inner peace that doesn't depend on circumstances. Now imagine this. You're facing a personal crisis, a moment that feels like a dead end. What would it mean to have an unshakable inner compass guiding you through it? Jung invites us to see God as that psychological anchor, the force that unites the opposites within and guides our actions with deep wisdom. This inner integration is the secret to dissolving fear, anxiety, and inner conflict. Can you recall a time when a shift in perspective changed everything? That's the power of putting God first. Suddenly, life flows, paths open up, and even your greatest challenges reveal hidden purpose. We've been conditioned to associate God with rigid dogmas, but Jung's vision was radical, far beyond religion. For him, God is the living symbol of our highest potential, the inner wholeness waiting to emerge. To recognize that presence is to allow your soul to speak and guide you. If you could sit face to face with your most authentic self, untouched by social pressure, what would it tell you about your priorities? What habits, what thoughts would align with that divine center? I invite you to reflect. What real-life changes would be needed for you to put that force first? What if, from this moment on, every decision you made flowed from that sacred alignment? One of Jung's greatest insights was revealing how the ego, our limited conscious mind, resists this surrender. The ego wants control, wants clarity, wants logic. But God, or the self, lives in the depths, in the mystery, in the unknown. The paradox is that only by surrendering to that mystery does the ego find its true freedom and safety. Do you feel that tension within? That silent battle between needing to control and knowing you must trust something greater? That tension is the invitation. It's the initiation into spiritual and psychological growth. Putting God first means embracing the transformation. And yes, it requires courage. Courage to face your own shadows. Courage to let go of outdated beliefs and old versions of yourself. More than anything, for Jung, placing God at the center is the gateway to individuation, the path to becoming who you truly are. Free from masks, free from external expectations. This journey is neither easy nor fast, but it's the only one that leads to authentic freedom. Individuation happens when the ego steps back and the self steps forward. This isn't just about faith, it's about transcendence, about expanding your awareness and unlocking your full capacity to love, to understand, and to live. Have you ever thought about how many of your daily decisions are based on fear, anxiety, or the need to please? What would change if each of those decisions was instead guided by the calm, steady voice of your divine center? This isn't just a spiritual ideal. Jung taught that it's a real experience, something you can live. When God is first, your mind clears, your heart softens, and your intuition sharpens. How does it feel to imagine living from intuition instead of constant overthinking? To reach that space, an honest inner dialogue is essential. Jung warned that ignoring the self and shutting out the divine within causes symptoms, anxiety, confusion, emotional pain, what psychology calls neurosis. But when you welcome that divine dimension, healing and growth follow. Are you willing to walk this path, even if it means letting go of familiar patterns and facing uncomfortable truths? That willingness is what separates those who wish for transformation from those who embody it. No matter your religion or beliefs, Jung's message goes beyond theology. It speaks to the very core of human experience, our deep longing for wholeness and meaning. God for Jung is the archetype of completeness, the inner source of totality that lives in every human being. So placing God first isn't just a belief, it's a radical act of self-recognition. It's acknowledging the divine within you, in all its light and shadow, and letting that truth lead your life. Now imagine the ripple effect. Your relationships grow deeper, your work becomes meaningful, your mental health stabilizes, and your inner peace expands day by day. How would that impact your world and the people around you? Jung reminds us that no outer achievement compares to the transformation that begins inside, and when it starts, it echoes far beyond. As we wrap up, I invite you to make a commitment to yourself. What is the first small action you'll take to place God, yourself, at the center? Is it a new habit, a shift in perspective, a choice you've been avoiding? Leave your answer in the comments below. Your insight might inspire someone else who's ready for this journey too. And if this message touched something within you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more content that weaves together depth psychology, spiritual wisdom, and self-discovery. Share this video with someone you care about. It might be their turning point, just as it could be yours. According to Carl Jung, putting God first is more than an act of belief. It's an inner revolution that reshapes your mind, your heart, and your future. This is the key to lasting peace, real alignment, and the sense of purpose you've been seeking all along. Now the question is, are you ready to live from what truly matters? It's time to accept this deeper truth.